Muchiri is now joining me on what transpired today during the memorial service of the 1998 Nairobi bombing. Brian.
Well, thank you very much, Zain. That particular historic view that we just saw from Duncan Hayemba previously before the break was of that fateful day and all that followed. Rings familiar with that I saw earlier today was that memorial service at the August 7th Memorial Park here in Nairobi, and the emotions there were tangible, to say at least, but not quite as fortunate as one would expect. They were not laced with as much comfort as one would imagine of, at least at a memorial service. Here's my report of the happenings of the day, that is today, that marked 25 years since the tragedy struck. The 25th anniversary service of the twin bombings of U.S. embassies in Kenya and Tanzania was engulfed by a somber mood as survivors and families of victims gathered at the August 7th Memorial Park in remembrance of their loved ones.
We have been stigmatized. Nimepewa majina mbaya. Familia yetu iko na mkosi. Watu wanaona nikiassociate nao nitawaletea mkosi kwa familia yao. I am worried and fear for my future life. I do not have friends and relatives wametusaidia mpaka wamechoka na mashida zetu. I have sought for employment in the government. No one has considered me, and yet my mother got injured and lost her sight working for the government.
The consortium of U.S. Embassy terrorist attack survivors putting up a spirited fight for the compensation of the victims. Leaders from the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition who are present at the memorial further pushing for the compensation of victims. Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka indicating that had the lessons of Nairobi and Dar es Salaam been taken seriously, the 9/11 tragedy would have been averted.
We cannot continue waiting for justice for the victims. May this be the year that the victims of this terrible crime finally have closure and have their compensation.
In fact, I was of the view that if the lesson from Nairobi had been taken seriously, September 11 could have been avoided. Or maybe the world, though that is a tragedy in a third world country, little did anybody know that was going to catch up with everybody.
A point of concern, however, has been the fact that no form of compensation has been availed 25 years on to Kenyan victims. Meet Mercy Wairimu. She says the memorials have recently been turned into being mere formalities.
So, to me, anything we get to hear in these memorial services, the stories, because as usual we need to hear things for us to move on. So, hizi ni hadithi simulizi tu, zinaendelea kila siku, hakuna tofauti. At least they should have checked up on us, the kids, the widowers, the widows. At least they should have tried and check up on us. Like, years, 25 years, si kidogo.
Brian Muchiri, NTV, Nairobi. The emotion there is a reflection of the weight of the pain. And we have, of course, continued to, that has been experienced not only at a personal level, but even as a country. There is a broader context as to this at the national security level. Zain?
Yes, indeed, Brian. Thank you for those reflections. And indeed, until the 1998 bomb attack, issues like terrorism and terror attack and terror really were almost foreign on Kenyan soil, so much so that at a high level warning was ignored. Then tragedy struck and marked the beginning of a new phase in the country's security apparatus. And Brian Obuya is working on that particular report, which we'll be getting in just a moment. But well, a little away from our special coverage of the 1998 twin bombing.